Making art every day for 31 days? Can I really do that? Well, I'm challenging this idea by participating in Peachtober this year and making an art piece every single day for the month of October. Howdy hey, I'm Kit Kat and welcome to day 16 of Peachtober. This is like the official halfway point of Peachtober, which is crazy that I've been making videos every single day for 16 days straight. We shall see if I get to the very end, lol. Anyways, today's prompt is hatch, and before we do anything, it's time for heart attack time, the time where I pick an extra challenge for the day. So let's pick today's challenge. Today's prompt is style switch up, where I have to do the piece in a different style. So yeah, that'll be fun. I feel like when I first started making art, I enjoyed trying out different styles, but now that I've found something that really fits what I like to do, having to challenge myself to like do something different than what I normally feel comfortable in and enjoy doing doesn't sound so exciting, but that's okay. I put this in here because I thought it would be fun to try out a different way of making art. And I feel like in regards to a lot of the work I've made so far, I wouldn't say it's like cohesive necessarily for Peachtober, which at points has kind of bothered me that like it doesn't all look like it goes together. But I think that's sort of the whole point, at least for me in this, is like I'm doing challenges, I'm trying different ways of doing things, I'm getting to learn new ways of doing the art process. And so I've had to learn to be comfortable with the fact that not everything I'm making really looks cohesive with every other piece that I've made, and that's okay. I definitely aspire to be like the artists who do make their work look really cohesive during this time of the year. I love when they use like the same color palette like the whole time. So I think maybe even in future art challenges, I'd like to like apply that. Also, this may be the one and only time in my entire art challenge career that I actually include extra challenges. It's been fun, but I don't know if I'd ever do it again. I feel like it's a lot of work and it adds like a whole extra layer of stress. So I don't know if I'll ever do it again this way, but it's been cool to do it this way, and it has added its own charm to the series. So we'll see. Maybe I'll do it again. I think one thing I'd like to do for my next art challenge is like have a cohesive color palette that I use for the pieces. Like maybe not the same 3 colors every day, but maybe like, 6 to 8 colors that I'm using for like the majority of the pieces so that they kind of all go together at the end. Maybe. I don't know. What do you think? Does that sound cool? Before we get into it, since we are speaking about colors, here are the colors I have selected for today's piece. Also, what style am I going to do it in? Well, you'll have to wait and find out. I'll talk about it more in the process part. Also, here's my silly little sketch. Let's wrap up this intro and start cooking. And we back with another voiceover with Kit Kat. I'll be real, I struggled today with the challenge because I kind of just wanted to like do it in my own style, and I feel like today I really felt it in just the reality of some of these challenges are great, but also like kind of hard. Kind of like don't want to do them, but that's okay. We push through. I decided for the style I was going to do it in to pick Keith Haring style because he's been an artist that I've always really enjoyed, and also I've had a lot of people tell me that my work looks like his, which I think his work looks very different from what I make, and I do really like his work and it does really inspire me, but I do think our work does not look the same. But it is a really big compliment because I do really like his work. So I thought it would be cool to actually take that idea of making a piece in his style and do that for today. I went through like a couple different artists in my head. At first I was like, maybe I'll do a Vincent van Gogh themed one. But then I was like, that's gonna be maybe a little bit too much. I also went super detailed on yesterday's piece, and I kind of realized it might be nice to have more of like a chill day. And so I was like, wait, I'm gonna do Keith Haring because his work is very simplistic and lots of line work, very like bright, bold colors, but you know, not like crazy. And we were just not really ready to get into like a super crazy detailed piece today, especially after yesterday. So ultimately, this was a good choice because I also didn't really have a ton of time to work on the piece because I've been staying up late working on editing the videos and I need to go to bed at a better time tonight. So I had to make some choices that are going to be for the best of my sleeping schedule. Anyways, I also picked the colors based off of some of his pieces, and I did it in a red outline because when I think of his art, I always think of like red, black, white, and yellow. So I wanted to include those colors, and this is definitely not my favorite design that I made in Peachtober. I'll be real, it's not, but I still like it. It was fun. It was a good way to switch myself up from what I usually do and do something very different. And I am glad that his style is so simple because it did make getting the piece done in a sufficient amount of time much more accomplishable today. So now I get to like go sleep, which is going to be great. But that's kind of it. Thanks for tuning in. With that, let's go to the end of the video. And you made it to the end of the video where I get to show you the final piece. Thank you for joining me for my Peachtober design process today. If this is your first video here, I'm making a video every single day for Peachtober to share my process, to show behind the scenes, and to explain the whys behind the designs. So I would love to have you subscribe, comment, and stick around for a while. With that, I will see you tomorrow for a whole nother day of Peachtober with a new prompt, a new challenge, and a new design. And I will catch you on the flippity flop. Bye!